Margaret Newz. It's winter! Yay! So beautiful. So I haven't been posting for a while, but I'm still here, Margaret Newz. And I wanted to say that, well, I'm still really loving being vegan. And yeah, well, gosh, I just want to encourage somebody out there who might consider being vegan. You can be a fun vegan. You don't have to be a militant vegan or a string bean vegan, super skinny. I'm fat. I'm a fat vegan. So I think people know that by now. Like, it's not like being vegan a long time ago. And I was a raw vegan for a year, 20 years ago. And I got so skinny that I went off the vegan diet totally. Just overnight, I said, you know what? I'm going to die if I keep doing this. Because I was really skinny and I continued losing weight it was like a snowball effect. The snow, yay! Except for it wasn't good. And I was very cold and it was just not good. I was a raw vegan and I would not recommend that to anyone at all because it was really scary what happened in the end. And I went to the raw vegan potlucks. I had all the support. I went to the raw vegan chef school with Sherry Soria, who was very mean to me. I will just say she was. So what am I supposed to do? Cover it up? She was mean. She singled me out and was specifically mean to me while she uplifted. There was another guy, I can't remember what it was, Chiffon or something. I don't know, but she loved that guy. I mean, she was just like doting on him at every moment. It was like, oh, he's doing his presentation, whoa! But when it came to me, it was like, punish her, punish her. It was horrible. Yeah, she actually made me do lots of dishes extra. She wouldn't give me my certificate unless I did like all these punishing chores. It was horrible. And then I also went to the Victoria Butenko, I think it was a 10-day long raw food cooking instructional camp. And that was pretty good, except for a lot of the people that were, like my peers decided they didn't like me. So I came and I moved my car and they had put gum on my windshield, and then look at how pretty that is. And then we made this, what did we made something in a jar, and I got up in the morning and I was checking it. We were like, letting it soak in the sun, and they had broken my jar. And then they started rumors that I was a racist. I mean, it was just stupid. And I just also want to put out that warning to people that if you think that you're going to go to some like enlightened camp of any kind, because this has happened to me so many times in different classes that I've taken, that actually the last time it happened, I went to a face reading class where I was learning to do face readings, and I went to dinner, and the two women there were really mean, and they were literally kicking me with their boots for the whole dinner. So under the table. And so that was the last one. I said, you know what, I'm not going to go to any more of these so-called New Age enlightenment seminars, because it's happened so many times that it's obviously a theme, and I'm just like the type of person that they like to choose, because somebody will get picked. It just won't be me, because I'm not going there anymore. That's not going to happen. I've finally wised up to the fact that it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I went to Tachyon in California, and I got there and I had 2 roommates. I had all my money planned out so that I would have enough money with the roommates. And then I came back to the room and they had moved out and left me a note that they needed sacred space. And of course, if I was in it, it couldn't be sacred, so they had to leave and stick me with the whole bill. So yeah, I don't remember how I worked that out, but I'm just putting out a warning to people. If you think that, you know, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go to this happy seminar of they're teaching, you know, raw foods, or they're teaching this or that, you know. If you're a sensitive person that has been picked on in the past, they will pick on you. There's no doubt about it. I am like a really extreme end, like on the spectrum of people that get picked on. I'm on the way extreme end. So that's why I've chosen to never go back to any of them. Even if it's a new group of people, they will do it. And I know they will, so I'll just never go back. And luckily, they have online learning. Like I have online classes, so I can go online. And then, you know, it's not like I have to see any of the other people that are in the class because they're at their own home. And so I'm home in my safe little nest and I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah. So yeah, I went to Sherry Soria's cooking school, and I learned how to make all kinds of blends of raw food stuff, and yeah, that was nice. And then, but you know, of course, actually, I just remembered when I was driving around Harbin Hot Springs, like in the last, it was the class was already over, and I saw Sherry Soria walking along, and she saw me in my car, and she walks up to the car. So I roll the window down, and she sticks her head in the window, and she says, "Are you leaving?" I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, it was just weird. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm busy enjoying the hot springs right now. It's like, Jesus Louise, it was weird. Anyways, so yeah, I just remembered that. And, so yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And, anyways, so back to my vegan story. And then I went to the Victoria Boutenko thing, got picked on there, and it was hot there. It was like 110 degrees, but yeah. I liked the stuff that I learned from Victoria Boutenko was different than what I learned from Sherry Soria, and it was healthier. The stuff that I learned at Sherry Soria's was like, you know, more geared toward the taste. And the Victoria Boutenko stuff, she wanted to make stuff taste good, but she really wanted to make sure it was healthy. That was her main thing. So, yeah. So I've had a lot of training. I know all about being raw vegan. And I also went to the raw vegan potlucks. We had those, I think, once a month, and I went to those, and I realized that the raw vegan community, you know, it's a real interesting mix. Like when my hair was falling out from the diet, I lost 2/3 of the hair on my head from that diet. It was falling out in handfuls. And I went to the meeting and I asked the women there, I said, hey, we gotta have a powwow. Please let me know what's going on. Hey, okay, my hair's falling out, right? My hair is falling out like in clumps. And they said, well, one of the women said, well, maybe you just don't need all that hair. I was like, holy, okay, woohoo. And then the other one said, you know, that's just your cooked hair is falling out. And then you'll reach a certain stage in your raw development where your raw hair will start to come back. And that's the hair that you really need to have on your head. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, okay. So basically, then I found out that there was one guy who almost died from the raw diet because he lost so much weight. He would go to bed like one weight and wake up another weight, which was lower. And he had his name was Tom, I think. And he had a blog online, and my friend told me about him. And she was like, oh yeah, you're not the only one this diet's not working for. I was like, what? So I found out like that he was there telling his story, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not willing to die for this diet. This is not going to work. Ooh. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. And I didn't really know about being vegan at that point. And then, I don't know, I guess it's been a couple years I've been vegan now. And I've been vegan a couple years, and I'm loving it. And I eat rice and beans and millet. Millet is so good. I like to watch the YouTubes to support my veganism. I feel good. I'm taking vitamin B12 from Vimergy with a V, V-I-M-E-R-G-Y. It's like energy with a Vim, Vimergy.com. So I get the vitamin B from there, and I yeah, isn't this beautiful? It's really snowing. Woo! I get the vitamin B from there, the B12, and I also take zinc, and I follow the medical medium, and I'm so surprised that a lot of people are rejecting the medical medium. That was like, wow. Yeah. But something good that happened at the that raw chef school with Sherry Soria was that I met a woman that she held up a bag of lettuce, romaine lettuce, and it had like this big bag and she said, "This cured my cancer." She said that, and I got to see that, and that was really neat. Yeah. So, and also I just realized, a lot of the reason why people get so nasty, when they're taking these classes and then they look for somebody to pick on to make themselves feel better, is because it's bringing up whatever they're going through. Like that one lady, I actually drove with her from Seattle down to, I don't know, I drove with her. I met her at the one place at the raw chef school with Sherry Soria, and then she flew to Seattle and we drove down to do the Victoria Butenko one too. But she had been eating a horrible diet all her life, like pork and all the horrible stuff people eat. And then she went from that to eating raw vegan, smoothies with kale and apples and lemons, and so it just kind of brought out her toxins, and those go like emotionally too. So I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, people can get really angry and they start looking for a punching bag. And so I just realized that happens when people are detoxing emotionally. So I just decided that since it's a predictable pothole in the road, I'm not going to go down that road. Just not going to do it. I can either learn it online or forget about it. So, anyway, yeah. Yeah, and I also want to say, if you're considering going vegan, just stay out of the extreme land, especially mentally, because the vegan land can be really crazy, like mental stuff, and it doesn't have to be like that. That's kind of our natural diet. And I like Dr. Mills. Dr. Milton Mills, he really shows a lot of different lectures. Like all his lectures are different, which I really love. I love his different lectures. They're not the same lecture over and over. So I think he has one especially great that's why we're herbivores and not carnivores, and he explains every detail. And he's fun to watch. Some people are really dry, but he's pretty peppy, you know. Anyways, thanks for watching Margaret Tone News. Happy winter!